Hi guys, it's Nathan from Howling Success, Dog Training and Behavior, back with another video. Today is our continuation on the beer retrieval from the fridge. Big long trick that we're going to be chaining together. Hi, hello. What is up? As you see, I got my sweet chungy boy here and he's very excited to work. Yes, we're going to get into it. Can you sit? Look. Touch. Touch. Oh, you're very excited, aren't you, Albie? Okay, sit. Touch. Touch. Yes. Okay. As you can see, very excited. In today's section, we're going to be teaching... Albie, can you get your bed? Bed. Stay. Thank you. We're going to be demonstrating how to teach a dog how to open a cupboard. Now, I say open a cupboard, and I understand that a trick is getting a beer from the fridge. But if you start with something like a cupboard, it's going to be a lot easier for your dog to learn the mechanics. Because one thing with fridge doors, they stick when you go to open them. Cupboard doors, nice and easy, nice and light, and it's not going to make as much noise. Now you need to be understanding, some dogs are going to be nervous when approaching a new skill like this, so time and patience is all that is needed. Go nice and slow. If your dog is a bit timid at one point, start working with some higher rate of reinforcement so that scary things becomes less scary, and let them back away if they want to back away. Your dog shouldn't be forced to learn anything new, but if they're scared of something, that's a great training opportunity for us to build confidence. Now we're going to be doing the exact same thing we talked about last week, so more or less we're just going to jump into it here, but I'm going to be reinforcing it. Albie, for any time he looks at to begin with, then approaches, then after approaches grabs and pulls. So we're going to be going down the ladder. Again, Albie knows this entire trick in its completion, so he's going to probably run straight up to this and try to pull it open. The thing I'm going to do here is I'm just going to tie a little bit up so it's not super loose and wagging around, and we can bring him over and see how we go. So, Albie, come. Slowly, hi. Okay, so he's going to stare at me again. I'm just going to be a statue. I'm uninteresting, and I'm waiting for him to start looking around. What is it? That is a cue that I've taught him to go and check things out. As you can see, he's brought me a thong because my thongs don't live here, and Albie knows if something is where it shouldn't be, and someone asks, "What is it?" Leave it. Leave it. Albie, leave it. Come. Albie. What is it? Yes. There we go, we got one little look. Yes. Yes. So to begin with, that's what I'm reinforcing, would just be any approach. Now the next step would be any time he mouths at it. So I would hold off a little bit longer. Yes. Get that mouth on it, you get a treat. The next step from there would obviously be, I'm going to be encouraging him to pull at it. And the only way I can do that is by holding off on the reinforcer for something he's been reinforced for. So obviously building that frustration, getting him to ask, why am I not getting any treats for this when I was just getting heaps of treats? And that asking of why and that frustration causes him to try something new. And that's what we're looking for here. Albie. Albie, leave it. Out. What is it? Yes, good boy. So right there, he completely opened the cupboard. big jackpot if your dog does something of the such, because you want them to know that's exactly what we're looking for. More of that. Now after he finishes these, he's probably going to run and do the exact same thing. Leave it. Leave it. Yes. Albie. Just going to stand in front of this one because otherwise he's going to keep trying it. He's tapping on the bin, which is another trick we've been practicing. Leave it. Albie. Yes, good boy. So simple as that, guys. Sorry about the big puffy jacket, it's very cold where I am. Yes, good boy. But very important that obviously we put these things on cue. So next I'm going to say, Albie, Albie, open it. Yes, good boy. So that cue is going to mean grab, pull, open, which, yes. Then your next step obviously is, let me just double check something. Cool, it's in shot. Obviously you want to then transition to open it. Albie, Albie, open it. Yes. And you can see, noisier. It was harder for him to pull. He didn't just grab and it started opening itself. Open it. Yes. So if your dog is struggling with that, little dogs, I'm sorry, you might struggle too much for this trick. Open it. Yes, good boy. And we'll finish up there. Finished. Okay, so we just went over how to teach your dog how to open a cupboard door, which is obviously the stepping stone to opening the fridge door. So the main points that we went over obviously is high reinforcement rate, new skills. So as your dog is attempting, make sure you're reinforcing every little look to the cupboard, every single time. If your aim is to get them to touch the cupboard, if their nose even gently touches that cupboard, they're getting a treat exactly on the exactly at that moment. So we're marking and rewarding. Say yes, give them their treat. To progress to the next step, so we don't get stagnant in our training. If your dog is at the point where they are nosing at the rope and you want them to mouth it, have your high reinforcement rate for nosing start to peter off, whereas every time they were getting reinforced for just their nose touching it, you're going to stand there and you're going to wait. Their nose will touch it and they're going to look at you because they're like, I did the thing, where's my treat? And you just need to hold out for them to go back to it. They're going to probably nose at it again, look at you, nose at it again, look at you, and you're just waiting for them to go, what do you want? And as soon as their mouth hits it, that's when you're going to start your reinforcement rate back up again. And it's just this constant flux of high reinforcement rate, so you get the momentum going in the new behavior. As soon as they give it a go and they're getting it quite well, you're like, yes, awesome, treat, 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 treat. And at the moment you think, okay, they're doing this every single time, they know what this is. That's when you're going to hold off on your treats. Again, if your dog gets too frustrated with you and gives up on the training, so if they take themselves off, it might just mean that you've cut off your reinforcement rate too early and you've frustrated them too much. There is definitely such a thing as too much frustration, so try to be wary of your dog's arousal levels and their behavior throughout. But once you now have your dog nosing, mouthing, opening, progress onto the fridge itself. Try not to start straight off on a fridge just because it can be quite scary for your dogs. Now, if you look at the video, you'll notice for the cupboard, I just had a piece of a little dog scarf for him to pull it open. That was because the suction cup dog toy that I have for him to open my fridge wasn't sticking quite nicely to my cupboards. Otherwise, I would have just used that, so that way it's the exact same thing transferring over. And make sure you're putting these things on cue. So if you notice 9 times out of 10, your dog will do it. Start to add the cue. So if I saw Albie approaching the cupboard, for me to add the cue, as he's approaching, I would just say, open it, because he is about to open it and I know he is. He's going to pull it open and he's going to get his treat. Apart from that, just go really slow and keep tuned for the next installment of How to Teach a Dog How to Get a Beer from the Fridge. Thanks guys, happy training.